To go,
We're live.
We are live. It worked.
Hooray!
Welcome to episode 33 of Word Ninjas Live. We've already dealt with all of the technical difficulties for this weekend, or at least we better have.
fingers crossed.
We'll see. It cannot be any worse than last week. Last
Lord.
week was just plain silly.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch last week's then.
I've been afraid to look back at it. Experiencing it was enough.
Yeah, that one was one for the record books for sure.
That one's going to be fun to edit for the audio version. Yay. But yes, for all the viewers and listeners out there, it is Word Ninjas Live coming to you for episode 33. Joining me today is Calvin Williams.
Hello, everyone.
William Granville.
Hello.
And myself, Charles Muir. Ed is off playing with alchemy, and Justin is still stuck in his hellish nightmarescape of doom that he keeps saying is going to wrap up one of these weeks, and then it never does.
It never ends.
Yeah. But hopefully he'll be able to join us again for next week. But in the meantime, we have a full show of talkie points and questions and prompts and all sorts of other shiny baubles for you. So let's get this show on the proverbial road. Talkie point number 1. How much do publishers or imprints affect your interest in an author or series? E.g., do you prefer certain publishers or imprints over others? I really should stop asking these questions considering who is on my cast.
Sorry, not sorry.
Would anyone like to kick this one off, or shall I take the lead?
Well, you seem to be the only one with an actual answer.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I seem to be the only one out of the current crew who actually pays attention to the little logos on the spines of books. Everyone else just cares about the actual authors or the stories within. I'm a bit silly.
Yeah.
Everyone at this point knows my opinion on the Rock imprint from Penguin. It has been made painfully clear in past episodes what my opinion of them happens to be. But yeah, that one tends to be, I'll buy it without question. Doesn't matter who the author is, although I need to be careful because a lot of their authors write series. I need to buy book 1 in a series before I buy book 3 or 4. Because it doesn't work otherwise. And before I came to the Rock imprint, that just sounds silly, there was also Tor and Bayan for their sci-fi books and authors, because those tend to be the best ones I've seen out there that are currently available for science fiction books. There are some older ones like Ace, but they're a little harder to find nowadays. But as I wrote in my notes, whenever there are book sales, I do actively hunt for the books with those logos on the spines because it's just easier. I kind of know what I'm going to get out of the deal. Although I have to look at which book of what series they happen to be in. So that's going to be fun going forward. Because all of these authors write too much. They write like 9-book series, and then I only find book 4 at a book sale. What good does that do? So how about everyone else? What imprints do you like? As I take myself off of the highlight so people don't have to stare at me.
Well, as was said, I don't look too much for the publishers. Perhaps I should. I don't know. I go more for author or story. But I will look more closely at anything by Wizards of the Coast if it's part of the Forgotten Realms series. A lot of authors write for that. It's usually a pretty interesting world. See how different writers take on that. Other than that, I admit I don't know of that many publishers because I just don't look. Probably bad on me. There are some like manga ones I'll look in more. If there's a certain publisher, I may look at them more closely. Dark Horse is one of them. I'll look at their manga pretty intently because they usually have more offbeat or interesting titles, less mainstream.
I didn't know that Dark Horse did manga. I thought they were mostly just graphic novels.
Oh, they do manga. They did Trigun.
Huh. I did not know that.
Oh, yes. They don't do many, but the ones they do are good. I will also look for Kodansha. Back when it existed, I would look for Del Rey, but Kodansha kind of absorbed Del Rey, so now it's just Kodansha.
What about Yen Press for Spice and Wolf?
I would look a little bit at Yen Press.
They do seem to have an interesting mix of stuff, although I haven't really gotten anything from them other than Spice and Wolf.
Yeah, I think Ed's read a couple other Yen Press things. I usually more avoid the bigger ones like Shonen Jump and Sojo Beat. They do have a lot of good titles, but they're more mainstream, and you know exactly what you're getting with the Shonen or Shoujo title.
Yeah, same with Viz.
Yeah. And once upon a time, I would look for Tokyo Pop, but you can't look for Tokyo Pop anymore.
Well, you can. It's just you won't find much.
Yeah. You won't find anything new, that's for sure.
Hmm.
Tokyo Pop folded?
A long time ago. A couple years ago. They just up and closed their doors.
That is news to me.
It was very sad because I was in the middle of reading a new series by them called Ratman. They only get up to volume 4, and then they folded, and I was sad because I was really enjoying that series.
Yeah, I remember your ongoing quest to find the next volume in that series, and it just never seemed to be available anywhere.
Yeah. And then I found out it was because Tokyo Pop folded up. And I was like, oh, sadness.
And how about Z Calvin?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know a whole lot about book imprints. I couldn't tell Random House from a Farmhouse. So this really wasn't.
I can mod the question for you.
Okay.
Replace publishers with record labels.
Okay.
Obviously, anything that has been shown on Riff Raff.
Let's see. Record labels. It's funny, I don't really pay attention to record labels a whole lot. I know Incubus is a part of last time I remembered Epic Records. I don't see. Incubus is a part of Epic. Coheed and Cambria, I believe, is still part of Columbia.
Are they still kicking around?
Oh, they sure are.
I'm probably an album or two behind at this point.
Let's see. What's the last album you remember?
Whichever was the very first one that came out after we graduated from college. So probably like 6 years ago at this point.
You're at least a good 3 albums behind.
Oh man.
But yeah, in terms of labels, I don't really follow labels. I honestly don't know like a lot of like which labels a lot of bands I follow are under. Mainly because most of them are part of like either self-imprints or independent labels, and there are quite a few of those floating around. So yeah, record labels. I don't follow those much at all.
What record label would have the hot licks fallen under?
Probably Warp. Either Warp or Merge, because Warp Records and Merge would probably be very receptive to like, some of the weird crap that we hammered out.
Maybe it's for the best that
actually,
we don't really have any recordings of any of those songs anymore.
I do.
Oh dear.
Maybe I'll release him into the wild one day. Actually, you know, not Hot Licks related, but actually remember a label that I actually do kind of follow. It's called Ghostly International. They're primarily like electronica, like electronica and like electronic based pop and pop label. They have quite a few bands that I like that are under them. School of Seven Bells, Gold Panda, Comtrues. Those are a few that are under Ghostly. And one thing I like about Ghostly is that like every so often they'll release like a really cool sampler of all their like some of the best work from the bands under their label, and most of those samplers are it's a sampler, so it's free, so easy to find, easy to consume, and it helps me find more awesome music to listen to.
Cool.
So Ghostly. Plus, the Ghostly logo is actually pretty cool looking. It looks like a Pac-Man ghost in his circle.
All right, for our viewers out there on the live stream, post your answer to the first talkie point as a comment, and once the lag catches up, we will respond accordingly. And if you missed it, the talkie point was, how much do publishers or imprints affect your interest in an author or series? So, like, do you prefer certain publishers or imprints over others? Post in the comments below. And in about 30 seconds to 3 hours, when it catches up, we will see it and respond. All right, talkie point number 2, which is actually a what-if question. These seem to be catching on. So, what if, number 1, you are trapped on a deserted island with one of your muses or characters. Which one would you prefer it to be, and why? That could go so many ways. And that was not one of the initial ways I was thinking.
I posted this question, so I find it rather insidious to have other people think it through. I actually thought of this question a while ago, but I had to miss the last 2 podcasts because I had to work, and I didn't want to post it and not be here. So I was holding on to it and waiting for my chance.
Fair enough. Would you like to lead this one, then?
Very well. So I figured of all my usual characters that I have from... That is not how you spell of. Of is spelled with an O, not with an A. Or a Q. It is not spelled with a Q either. And there's an extra space in the front, too. Alright, so, of my characters, particularly reading from My Roommate's a Stripper, I decided that Jacob would likely be the best candidate to be trapped on a deserted island with. Of all my characters, he's probably the most level-headed of them all, the calmest. So he wouldn't panic in any of those given situations. He would sit down and try and figure out what to do next, which is definitely something you want when trapped on a deserted island. If you're running around panicking, that's a lot of wasted energy. He's also pretty creative. He was an art major, so his mind is always thinking of new and creative things, even if he doesn't show it on the outside. So it'd probably help in coming up with solutions to solve problems, finding food, creating shelter, coming up with signals to alert people where we are, and possibly, if necessary, getting the hell off the island.
Why would you want to do that?
Well, on the side note, he is also not that bad to look at. So I decided it would be Jake.
Where are the show notes? No, there are. Too many tabs.
Yeah, same here.
Only have 3.
I cannot find the Hangout tab right now.
I have about 7 tabs open because I need a different tab for each link in the show notes. And then for the comments, both on the YouTube page and then in the Google Plus, because some people have been using both, or one or the other.
Oh.
We missed some commentary last week from the Google Plus page, and I felt guilty about that. Let's see. My answer for this one, I didn't answer for both. If it was my muse, he is a wolf, so he'd be good for hunting and defense and all that, but he has paws, so he wouldn't be very good for building shelter or anything like that, unless there happens to be a convenient cave that you could find. But no, he'd be a good companion, but not so much for helping us escape. As for characters, I would actually go with Ivy from the Slash and Burn Zombie Apocalypse verse, because she's a biochemist with basically every single science degree imaginable, and some that she just created on the spot. And so she'll know how to forage for food and use the local flora and fauna to our advantage. And not to mention, she also knows how to use exploding rocks in a pinch. So.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with porous rocks, alcohol, and a match.
That makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah, it usually doesn't end well, though.
It's like Calvin and I bust out the TNT in Minecraft.
Yeah. That poor island.
I just think one of my favorites was when we were clearing something out and I pull out the TNT and you're just like, no!
Yeah, that wasn't an appropriate use of TNT, especially at that particular location.
That island had it coming.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yes, to answer this question, there's a character in my hacker story named Missy who's incredibly tough as nails and pulls no punches, and would have out of any of the characters in the story would be, I can't say the most equipped, but the most level-headed out of all of them, and would be able to figure out a way to get off the island and motivate me to not panic, or else she would continually punch me in the stomach until I complied. Nothing like repeated blows to the body to inspire anyone, or just comply to just stop the hurting. Oh, yeah. It's the Hank's window. I found it.
Alright, and for our viewers, as before, post your answer in the YouTube comments below, and we shall get to them once the lag catches up. I'm refreshing them every once in a while to see when something new is posted. So far, nothing yet. Okay, where's the show notes tab? Alright, our second hypothetical question for this week. You could take the place of any one of your characters. Which one would you choose? In other words, you'd have their memories, skills, friends, family, troubles, dangers, etc. And you can choose whether or not you'd actively remember your original self, or would still be you, but with characters' attributes as extras. So basically, you kind of choose what limits and complications there are. Oops. And nothing but crickets.
Well, most of my characters are offshoots of myself, so it's
I come up with an answer.
This seemed like a clever question at the time, but then when I was answering it, like, I'm only one standard deviation or two away from Slash as it is, so that one's kind of one by default.
I kind of decided I would go with Aiden. Because his life isn't all that bad, so that wouldn't be such a bad life to live. I mean, yeah, he's got his issues when it comes to dating and relationships, but who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
And, you know, he's got a good job, he's got a good place to live, he's got friends and family, maybe a little oblivious at times, but it doesn't let him get him down. Teaching might be fun. Having a kind of an editor and publishing would be good. But I think I would get confused if I had my own memories with his memories added on.
That sounds kind of... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It just sounds like it would get confusing and cause lots of mental stress about, wait, whose memories are what's now? What's going on? So I think I'd go without my own memories. Hey, I have coffee.
Yay, coffee.
The wild coffee appears. Hank, bye-bye.
Yeah, like that would seem like a eternal. God, what's that movie called? Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind type situation.
You should not lose your memories every day.
No, but having your memories and someone else's memories at the same time can get very confusing.
Yes.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's an anime that's covered this scenario already. Seems like something an anime would do.
Isn't there like a rule of the internet that dictates if it exists in anime? If an idea exists in anime created of it already?
I know there's one for porn.
Yeah. That's Rule 34, right?
Yeah. There's probably one for anime, too, because it sounds about right.
There's also Rule 53 if it exists as a gender of it.
Yes, if it existed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know about that one. Yeah.
I'm actually trying to think of any animes I've seen that may have covered that. Or at least like an episode of Ghost in the Shell may have had that. Or an episode of I don't think an episode of Cowboy Bebop covered that. So they did have that what the hell was that guy? The Brain what was it? Brain Scratch. Brain Scratch. That one was pretty interesting. Not exactly the same thing though.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's probably at least an anime that exists that covers that topic.
Although it's not an anime, Quantum Leap. He does nothing but live other people's lives.
Very
Granted,
true.
he doesn't have their memories conveniently handy. He needs
That would have
for
helped.
that. But, yeah.
Like, oh great. Where am I? Who am I? And what do I have to do now? Who are all these people and how am I supposed to interact with them?
Hence his weekly catchphrase. Oh boy.
I guess that would be one convenient way of working around it. You just have a secondary character helping you out to fill in any fiddly bits for memories and skills and whatnot.
a quantum leap where you go through, instead of going through time, you go through parallel universes of the universe you create in your head. It'd be kind of trippy.
That would be awesome.
It would kind of be like Sliders meets Quantum Leap.
Quantum sliders?
I was just thinking.
Sounds like something from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That works too.
Hitchhikers, or wait, Sliders Guide to Quantum? I don't think that works.
Slider's Guide to the Quantum Leap.
There we go.
And then when they reboot it, it can just add on the next generation.
Alright. Who hijacked the Enterprise?
Using a TARDIS.
On the Serenity.
I think we just achieved like triple inception right there.
As long as we still have to travel through Stargate, though.
On a deep sea submarine.
On a deep sea submarine.
Is it a yellow submarine?
No.
It is now!
Oh my. I think we pretty much covered that what-if scenario.
Well, you didn't cover your second bullet point.
Oh, right. If it was another character, I would have gone for Skyliera's from my Steampunk Tea Shop world. Although I would prefer to skip the ending because, yes, it was poetic and rage-inducing, but I don't really like mutually assured immolation. Fire is painful.
Last time I checked.
Yay, we have responses.
Woohoo.
Tom responds with, I don't know which of my characters I can trust to be in an island, as I fear they would all blame me. And to be any character, has anyone considered being that mean girl in school? Which one? There's always more than one. And mean boys, too, for that matter.
The story takes place after school, so I don't have any of those. I just have bitchy ex-girlfriends.
That just gave me an idea for a character I could put in my story.
Yay, ideas.
And the terrible thing that my character did to her. That'll be a fun ex-girlfriend character. And figuring out a way that my character screwed her over in the most epic of ways because he's a hacker.
Sweet, sweet revenge.
Sweet, sweet hacker revenge. Possibly anonymous related.
That worked for Angelina Jolie.
Little 4chan justice.
Oh dear.
And I'm gonna stop talking now.
On that note, time for the next segment. Before we get ourselves in trouble.
For writers, it's all hypothetical.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. Why not?
Alright, let's see if the screen share works.
We each get to do
Uh,
it once last time, I remember.
Yeah, it's been a bit finicky. Come on now. You can do it. Okay, so that has to be open. And then we do that. And then it goes all wonky. And it's time for highlights. We have our author highlight for the week, who happens to be Christy Peterson Schoonover, because she was part of one of the recent Humble bundles for ebooks and whatnot, and she happens to be part of the Fairfield County Writers Group.
Nice.
Yay, connections.
Who's this?
Christy Peterson Schoonover. She is a member of the Fairfield County Writers Group, and her latest book, which is called Bad Apple, was in the latest Humble Bundle ebook thingy from this week. I forget if it's still running or not. But there are a whole batch of interesting stories in there, and hers just happened to be in it. So I thought, why not focus on this person? And her website is conveniently Christy Peterson Schoonover. It's in the show notes because it might be a little tricky to spell. I messed it up twice when searching for it originally. But yeah, she's a very entertaining person and a very good author as well. You should definitely check out her works. Her little short story series, Skeletons in the Swimming Hole, which is a lot of stuff based in Disney World and Disneyland and all that, was fantastic from a few years ago. I have no idea where my copy of that went, though. It's kicking around somewhere. And Bad Apple was the latest book she's got out. I've just started reading that on my Kindle. I'm only about 10 pages in, and I can already tell this is probably going to be a very morbid story, considering what happens to the mother. So,
No spoilers.
well, I already spoiled it that bad things happen, so too
Well,
late.
It's somewhat implied in the title.
True. But yeah, she does a lot of various short stories and novels, and I haven't actually watched many of her book trailers, but she does a little bit of everything, really, that authors can and should be doing to promote their work. So it's definitely worth checking out just to see how to go about doing various self-promotion endeavors. And she's done various interviews, gone to various events to promote stuff and all that, so definitely worth checking out. So go do so. And by extension, the website highlight for this week did not load.
Ooh.
Come on now.
Website extension is this wonderful web page not available sign. Look at all the coding that must have gone into it.
Wait for it. Wait. There it goes. For some reason, my computer can only handle so much internet usage at any given time, so it's... But the website highlight for this week, Vagabondage Press,
Oh my.
happened to do Beppel. Yes. I feel like this is something Ed might be doing.
Huh? Yeah, I might well.
But they focus on various romance styles, but they're pretty creative. They're not like Harlequin romance by any means. They're a little more they're not as fluffy, for a lack of a better term.
It's a publisher. Well, that's why we're calling attention to them.
Yes. Well, no, he said that I might.
You might be interested.
And they have a fair amount of authors in various books, so they do have a pretty good amount of diversity in there.
I like the name. Bag of Bondage.
Let's see.
I like their affiliations. Battered Suitcase Press and Dark Alley Press.
So what happens if you take a battered suitcase down a dark alley?
Apparently you get vagabondage.
Oh my. If we're not careful, we'll start going to the NSFWN podcast territory.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Oh, granted, we do need more material for that series.
After the podcast.
Yes.
When we're not live on YouTube. But yeah, this is definitely a nice little publisher that is worth checking out if you're into romance and erotica and stuff that's not just fluffy Harlequin romance, and it's not 50 Shades of Grey. It's a little more clever than that.
Actually, well written.
Yes. Although I'm kind of concerned as to what sort of romance erotica could be in a titled Osama bin Laden is Dead.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah. I'm going to leave that for off air. Yeah, those are the highlights for this week. So check out our show notes to find the according URLs, or just search for Christy Peterson Schoonover and Vagabondage Press. And take me off the screen share. Hopefully one of us can get back on it later. We shall see.
You're back.
Yay. Well, eventually we need to do the writing prompt, so we'll see how screen share works for that.
If need be, I can. You can screen share for me.
Yeah. Eventually, I'm probably just going to shuffle the segments around so we can do the screen share all in one clean sweep, rather than taking it on and off. But for this week, we're just going to keep going with the regular flow and move towards the segment of goals. How did last week's goals go, and what are next week's goals? How did people fare? That well, huh? Or are you reading Justin's goals?
I think Justin got a little tweaked on his goals. Yeah. Did he ever get that thing from you?
Yes, I gave him my thing.
All right. I was just wondering.
Did you get that thing I sent you?
Well, his comments were, get that thing from CJ. You know what I'm talking about. Wink, wink. I'm talking about his penis. No, I'm not. I'm not even drunk. I'm 14, and what is this? I think he kind of lost it there a little bit at the end.
Meanwhile, I still have to give one of my things to Will at some point. Don't know when that's going to happen.
My body is ready.
Your body is too far away.
Oh.
Oh.
Calvin, what were your goals for last week before we get in even more trouble?
All right. I had 2 goals last week: build websites and make money, and I've accomplished that plenty.
Hooray.
And continue to work on music. And now I have a story about this you guys might enjoy.
Story time.
I went to see a friend of mine perform with his band, and it was really his band is incredible. Shout out to Jacks of Kings County. Anyway, had to do a cheap plug there. My friend, who's the percussionist, had a fun little acoustic setup, and one of the things he had was this little foot tambourine. And I'm listening to the songs, and I noticed a foot tambourine, and it has like just the perfect sound that I've been looking for to put together a song that I had an idea for, but I just could not get off the ground because I've been searching high and low for percussion sounds. So after the show, I went up to him and I asked him, "This is going to be a really strange request, so bear with me. That little foot tambourine thing you have there, I need to sample I need a sample of that sound." And it just so happened that I brought my field recorder with me, so after a shot of bourbon, we headed to the music.
After a shot of bourbon.
After a shot of bourbon.
Just the one shot.
Actually, it was a nice sized little glass. I like bourbon. Hey, he offered, and what was I going to say no? Anyway, that had nothing to do with the story, and I'm going to continue. We went back to the stage, brought out my field recorder. We did a few recordings of his foot tambourine, and I was able to bring that sound home, chop it up and skew it all to hell, and now I've gotten like at least a minute and a half of this song that I've been trying to come up with for at least 2 years, and it's pretty decently off the ground now.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I don't know if it's going to be done by the end of this month, but it'll definitely be done like sometime in early March. Hooray!
Yay!
We're going to hold you to that now. It's been recorded.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. You can't go back.
Even though YouTube now has like editing functions and things like that.
Shush you.
But yeah, those were last week's goals, and I think I did okay.
As for myself, I had 4 goals. Get the Word Ninjas live and Word Ninjas reading XML episodes, images, and everything else sorted. Word Ninjas reading is not happening because reasons. And the Word Ninjas live XML did not happen because the Not Suitable for Word Ninjas podcast XML was a horrific, hellish nightmare of doom. And I feel like I owe Calvin a bottle of bourbon just for finally sorting it all out.
God, that thing was not easy. Like, ew. I'm not even gonna talk about it. Like, my disdain for that XML file is better suited for the Not Suitable for Word Ninjas podcast.
I'm just going to say that I now fully understand why no one does the XML files on their own, and they just go the easy route by using libsyn or some other aggregator to do all the stupid coding for them. I can see why it would be worth the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is done. The Not Suitable for Word Ninjas podcast has been uploaded or whatever
Submitted.
Submitted to iTunes. It should be viewable and searchable by tomorrow night, hopefully. I don't know how long they're going to take to sort that out. And I'm reverse engineering that XML file this week so I can do the Word Ninjas Live audio versions and get that posted by the end of this week, hopefully. We shall see.
Yeah, I'll be around in case you need any help with that.
Let's see. My second goal was movie and book reviews. I did the movie review with Tom. It is now posted on his YouTube channel. We reviewed RoboCop 2014, and we ranted for another 15 minutes about a freaking movie.
Good or bad written?
I thought it was good. My ranting was good. His ranting was good. The freaking 6-year-old in the background, not so much.
Oh.
Because we were recording from a Panera's because logistic reasons. Yeah. And I did not get to book reviews. I really need to get on that. It's been a good while since we've done any, so we need to get that rolling again. And my standard like class work and studying and whatnot, that's just easy. That was an easy yes. Then the full coverage writers Goodreads account is now 2 weeks in the we haven't done it yet category. It's a good idea. We really do need to do it. It's just we haven't. So yeah. That's how my week went. How about Will?
I
Oh.
take it back. CJ is here.
There we go.
Welcome back.
Yeah, so I'm plugged into the Ethernet, so I don't know why I decided to just say, nope, I'm done.
Well, we were still live, so we continued. I believe we are now done with last week's and are moving on to this week's events and goals.
Yeah, hopefully the pop-up that said, do you want to end this broadcast or continue? When I clicked continue, hopefully it allowed you to.
We were still listed as live, so.
Alright. Let's just roll with that. Oh, hey, now it's trying to open up everything.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Getting something from Justin.
Holding.
Apparently, he never got an invite to the show.
I sent him 2. One from each computer. Theoretically, you guys should be able to invite him too. Because this thing is still spazzing out at the moment, and apparently we did get disconnected from the live stream on YouTube because Tom just asked about it.
Ooh.
No.
Yeah, because since I'm the host, if I lose connection, then it really gets upset.
Eep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And if I can load the show notes again, then I will just ramble on about my goals for the week, but it is being spazzy.
I'll be right back.
Alright. It would help if it would load, because I really don't remember what my goals were for this week. Oh, and the Hangouts toolbox still doesn't work, so I can't do anything about that. Calvin, did you send an invite to Justin?
I'm waiting to hear back from him.
Alright.
He is typing something.
Come on, there we go. I swear, one of these days I'm just going to reformat this entire PC. It's probably just easier than trying to figure out what's wrong with it. Let's see. My goals for this week are the Word Ninjas Live XML file of doom. There's actually a lot of capitalized and lowercase O's in that. I just don't feel like varying my voice. I need to sort out at least a workshop. I have 10 in the works. They're all about an hour to an hour and a half each. I made some decent progress on that yesterday at an unofficial write-in. And
Nice.
then I need to start working on a little 10-minute presentation for one of my classes. That should be easy enough. So hopefully it'll be an easy week. Considering the XML file, a lot of that stuff is just filling in the little fiddly details. The actual structure of it should be good. It better be good.
All right, I'll brief you on what I had to do to get that stupid XML file to work after the show.
How many sacrifices do I need to make?
Not too many.
All right.
Can you count them on one hand?
Let's see. Now, how do I send Justin an invite?
If you go to the upper part of your little video screen, there should be a little thing that pops up saying invite people, mute microphone, turn camera off, adjust bandwidth usage, settings, or leave the
We
call.
don't have invite.
Neither do I.
Huh.
I think as the host, only you can invite.
That's stupid. Sending the third invite for today.
Well, we got the note that you invited somebody.
I thought we were going to get all of these stupid technical difficulties out of the way before we started broadcasting today, but apparently not.
Ah, that's cute.
Did everyone else cover off their creative goals for the upcoming week?
I did not.
I did not either. 2 as usual. Finish chapter 22 of My Roommate's a Stripper by the end of the month, which is Friday. So I have 5 days to get it done. As I said, I've written a page. Right? Yeah, and I have 30 hours of work this week, so I don't have as much time to write. So we'll see how it goes. Also, try to get back in the Clash of the Storm. We'll see how it goes. Writing Roommate probably will take precedence, but try to get both going. Hopefully. Maybe. I hope. And those are my creative goals for the week.
And while Calvin sorts his out, for our viewers out there, post what your goals are for the week. What are you planning on doing before episode 34?
Yeah, my one goal is complete the song I just told all you guys about by my second week of March, the latest. Because I've had this idea for well over 2 years. Well, I think it might be even longer than 2 years. So I need to make this happen.
And we have a Justin finally.
So there's something about the Android camera that makes me look way more attractive than my laptop camera. I don't know if all you guys agree. Yeah, for some reason, CJ, I didn't get any of your invites, but when Calvin invited me, it worked fine.
Huh.
I don't have any explanation for you. Are we doing last week's goals?
Yeah, last week's and this week's.
Can somebody read off my last week's goals since I'm on my phone? I don't have my
Alright.
laptop on me.
Let's see. Deliver 2 reports to a different client.
I am doing that now, and it will be done. It will be done in like an hour.
Okay.
Close.
But technically, check that off. Yes.
Yes.
What's next?
Technically. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one is write something, anything, holy shit.
Oh, you didn't have to read the F parts where I was drunk. I did not. No, wait. Yes, I wrote notes for the article that I'm writing for my website during the impromptu write-in yesterday. So, hooray. I'm looking forward to reading these later.
Okay, maybe read a word or two. I mean, come on now.
I didn't read anything, but I did drink. It's just kind of like reading. Did you
read the labels on the alcohol bottle?
I did, actually. I was doing a sampler at Two Roads, so I drank 10 beers.
Well, then you read a word or two.
I did. I read the tasting notes and everything, so, yep, technically correct.
All right. Next one. Hey, don't I have a website? God damn it.
Yes. So I tried to work on my website, and apparently something on my computer is not working in regards to it. So in another hour, I'll be talking to my tech friend to fix that problem. So yes, I did work on the website.
All right. Twitter.
I have not posted on Twitter. That is something I need to do. But if I do it today, I technically did it. So, great.
All right. Take 2 days off of work this week.
Nope, I'm here, so obviously I did not manage to do that. I did take yesterday off, but I worked a pretty good amount of time today. But today's my last day, question mark. So hopefully I'll be back to my regularly scheduled program tomorrow.
So you got 50% of that accomplished.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Get that thing from CJ. You know what I'm talking about, wink, wink.
Oh, God, stop reading after that point. But yes, I did get that thing.
I actually already read at that point.
Out loud?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, we've already labeled this podcast as explicit on iTunes. So, well, we're going to in the XML. So, hey, whatever.
So all bets are off.
Mainly because I'm way too lazy to clean all of these episodes up.
All bets are off since CJ conceived of this idea. So.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
Calvin, the person who wrote in the show notes from last week about you, that was me. I was the one who said, no, it does not count. When you said, I thought about doing this, I put no. That was me.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. That kind of put the added fuel to my motivation.
Great. That's what I aim to do.
You actually missed the story of my working on music this past week.
Oh, no, I might actually have to listen back to the podcast.
Long story short, I did. And I have a song in the works, and I'm trying to get it done within the next 3 weeks.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that one. Alright, what else we got here? Oh yeah, that was last week's goals. How about your goals for this week?
Oh, did you guys already talk about this week's goal?
Mm-hmm.
So this week's goals will be to take 2 days off of work.
All right.
Finish researching apology versus forgiveness article.
Okay.
Fix website snafu.
All right.
And you know what? I'm going to write 100 words every day starting tomorrow. I'm punishing myself by writing. I'm not sure that's healthy.
Okay. Any expletives you want to add to any of those?
No, I feel in good spirits today, unlike last week. So I'll keep it clean.
Okay. Cool. All right. So all those goals have been marked down in the show notes.
Excellent.
Now,
Thank you.
no problem. Now it is up to you to adhere to them.
Now,
Feel free to-
CJ,
Mm-hmm.
do you usually send the invites like a half hour, hour in advance? Maybe if I don't get an invite by 2:30, I should call you, email you in case this happens again.
Tradition holds that I send out invites to the entire crew at 2:30, and then I impatiently wait for 25 minutes, and then with 5 minutes before the show starts, I start panicking, and then 1 minute before the show starts, someone actually hops on.
I did not
Okay.
get, just to clarify, I did not get my invitation till like 2:58, 2:59. Right
That's why I've been doing it a half an hour early. Because for some reason it takes a while.
Yeah, I did not receive it until basically you guys were. I basically popped in right after I got the invite.
I think that might have been when I sent the second round of invites to everyone.
I
And
believe
Google Hangouts is not good at this.
Yeah.
I believe I caught the second go round of the Hangouts.
So maybe I'll just have to do a round of invites every 15 minutes until people come on. And then you guys can just have fun with all of the notifications of you have an invite times 50.
I wonder if it's because we're all multiple device users. So, like, my laptop is in my car, and supposedly it's shut off, but maybe it's getting the alerts, but my phone and my work computer are not getting the invites.
I received the
possible. I've
invite
had
on
that
my
happen.
phone and my PC. That's how I knew I had it. My phone went off.
Yeah, you would think that the invite would go to all my devices, but maybe, I don't know. I have no
I've
explanation.
had the fun scenario where, depending on which email people invite me from, it'll go to my phone or my tablet or the PC or the Mac or just nowhere.
Oh, God, my tablet could even be getting all these things. Because my tablet is on constantly in a room in a drawer. I shall fix that. I'll let you know if I get all the invites that I've ever gotten on there.
It's funny, like right after I signed into the Hangout, my phone went off, saying, "Hey, you have a Hangout invite." So
It says he
it's
got.
definitely.
Nada. Usually, at least my phone will.
Yeah, I've included Ed for this week because I hadn't heard anything. So Ed should have 2 or 3 notifications at this point.
What?
Nothing.
Because I have it come here so that way I know because I use different browser setup when I. Yeah. Not like it mattered this week. I was.
Well, I'll be more hyper-vigilant about if I don't get a request by quarter of, I'll ping you repeatedly.
All right. I need to figure out how the Fairy Tale podcast gets the invite URL that I can just send around. They have a trick for that I
That would
have
be
not
nice.
learned.
Oh, that'd be
Not-
great.
Although, to be fair, we have enough issues with that show too, and getting people on. Alright, that's enough of a derailment for that segment. Time for upcoming events. We actually have one next weekend. Yay. Let's
Woot.
see. No, good lord, no, not that one. Screen. Stupid system. I want screen share of that. Not Q&A, not anything else. There. QuinnyCon.
Just be glad you can do more than one screen share.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I'll have a black.
apparently it is working. So,
Oh, there it is.
yay. QuinnyCon is next weekend, because it's March 1st and 2nd. It is being run over at Quinnipiac University in Hamden, Connecticut for Saturday and Sunday. Pre-registration has closed, but it's still free. Oh, I think ice is falling off my roof again. It does that.
Good times.
Yeah. But I know I'm going to be attending Saturday. I don't know about Sunday because of logistics and whatnot, but we'll see. It does look like it's going to be a fun little 2-day convention. If you happen to be in the area, definitely go check it out. And
How the devil do I get there from here?
You take 15 to 91.
well, first you have to hijack a car so you can get on the highway to get to the Merit, and then do what Justin says.
Ah. Sweet Jesus. Yeah.
Let me know if you want me to host a pre-party or after-party on Saturday or Sunday. I do
We'll
live
see.
right off the highway, either highway.
But yeah, that is coming up next weekend, and we also have others coming up. Take that off. The public should not see our show notes. It's too dangerous. Oh yeah, Book Expo is in May. That's still a good ways off, and of course Connecticon. And there may be another one in August, but that one is still undetermined because they're figuring out funding. So we'll see about that.
I have to go
Yes.
over fleshy ideas with you, CJ.
Do you have time today after this?
I do.
Yay. Or at least I hope it's a yay.
Yes. I'm sleep deprived, so don't mind me.
But yeah, there's all sorts of good stuff coming up, and we do have some workshops in the works. So once any of those are solidified, we'll have more to talk about. In the meantime, onward to the writing prompts. Back to screen share. I don't remember adding siren sound effects to the notes.
My bad.
Alright, we have 4 people and 3 segments, so someone's going to be out of luck.
I'll be out of luck because I can't read on my phone that small text. Actually, I think I can.
I don't mind reading the one-line writer prompts.
Alright, take it away.
The 10 one-line writing. What about your intro?
Oh yeah, we probably should introduce this for our viewers and listeners and whatnot. Every week we have writing prompts when we remember to talk about them. We provide 10 one-liners, 10 one-worders, and a combination of Rory story cubes, utilizing Rory story cubes. We do not own and are not sponsored by Rory story cubes. We just like using them and saying Rory story cubes. Now you can take it away.
All right. This week's one-line writing prompts are: I'm tired of all these everyday, edifying experiences. I'm not messing with her. She has a butler. Screw the rules. I have a get-out-of-jail-free card. Rule number 3. No turning parents into parsnips. That's not a secret language. It's just upside down. Your random penguin house amuses me. You are not an anime character. Stop trying to form a harem with your friends. I demand that you read this book I'm obsessed with. Stop breathing all my air! She's the man. What does that make you?
Calvin, would you like the one-worders or the story cubes for this week?
I want to do story cues, actually.
All right.
I'll do the one
take
words. No, I
All
do.
right.
I'll do it. All right. Hopefully, that's either nerd or Nord. That's the only one I can't tell what it says.
Nerd, in this case.
Okay, nerd. Wonder, sober, megalomaniac, reflections, satellite, radio, symphony, glitch, and wolves.
All right, Calvin, take it away.
All right, let's see what we got for this week. We have either somebody shaking their head or suffering from Parkinson's disease. We have an abacus. We have somebody pushing over a large wall type object. Could be a bookshelf, could be a guardrail. It's up to you. We have somebody holding a very heavy box. We have a ladder. We have a shield. We have somebody agonizing over a sore thumb. We have a house. And we have somebody thoroughly enjoying a cookie.
Is that what that is?
It's whatever you want it to be, CJ.
Either a cookie or a falafel or whatever you want to make of it.
Looks like a Minecraft pork chop.
Someone's been playing Minecraft too much.
Actually, I haven't really played much this week. Or at least not Minecraft. But yes, those are your writing prompts for this week. And as always, if you write a short story or flash fiction piece based off of any of these writing prompts, we would love to read it. You can email us a copy or the URL where we can check it out over via our email address, which is wordninja@fcwriters.com. All right. Take us off screen share. Find the right tab. Blah, 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 blah. One of these days I'm going to be able to update these little segments, but we are brought to you by Full Coverage Writers, because that is the overall organization that runs all of our ridiculous shenanigans. You can check out past episodes, reading recommendations, interviews, and more by going over to fcwriters.com. And it looks like whatever Calvin has done to the website is actually working, because I have not seen it fall apart in a while now. It's actually been pretty stable.
I've been trying to keep my eye on it, so we'll see how long it holds steady.
Yeah, now that we've gotten the website fixed, our hardware is falling apart.
Yay.
Seems like.
If it isn't one thing, it's another.
Yeah. And we are also partnered.
I was going to say, keeps us all on our toes. That's all.
Yeah. And we are also partnered with the Fairy Tale Podcast, a weekly live stream hosted on Monday nights at around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on YouTube. You can check out their channel for manga and fanfic dubs, cosplay reviews, and more. And you'll also spot me most of the time, as I'm Makarov on their crew. Although I tend to be quiet because it's 10 o'clock at night on a Monday. Now, as for this show and pretty much all of our endeavors is currently privately funded. But if you want to show your appreciation, there are multiple ways to go about it. The easiest way is to subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch our various videos. We have this show, we have reading recommendations, a couple interviews, various other stuff in the works. Or you can just click that thumbs up button if you found us entertaining. And of course, post comments below in response to any of our talkie points, or if we mess things up horribly and you want to rant at us, by all means, go right ahead. For extra credit, go to the fcwriters.com page, go to the Word Ninjas Live page there, and you can click on our little PayPal donation button and donate an amount of your choice. Now, if you happen to donate a whole $1, you get a shout-out on a future episode. So you can promote your site, social media account, podcast, or you can just say hello. If you donate $5, you can ask a talkie point, provide a what-if scenario, do a highlight for an author, book, YouTube channel, website, whatever. Your pick. And if you go for $10 whole, you can sponsor an entire episode and actually join us live, presuming you have the technology available to do so. It does require a working webcam, mic, and a strong enough internet connection that you don't bounce on and off like we do every week. And unless anyone has some last-minute comments, questions, concerns, or things they want to add in, it's almost time to wrap things up. Anything from anyone?
My conscience is clear for this week.
All right. With that, it is time to tell everyone who we are and where they can find us on the internets. Let's start with Justin.
You can find my derelict website at facingmyreality.com. Hopefully I'll be fixing that tonight and throughout the week. And the website should be up and running full speed ahead by the end of the week. You can also check my Twitter at facingmyreality as well. And according to the show notes that we just entered, I have to tweet when I hang up. So you will at least get one tweet today.
Hooray. How about the Calvin?
All right. You can find me at the music website Riffraff. That's riffraff.net, riffraf.net. You can check out some of my website and graphic designs at calvin.cwillia.ms. That's calvin.cwillia.ms. My email address is calvin@cwillia.ms. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ccwii, and on Tumblr at instacal.tumblr.com. Now about covered it.
And how about Will?
All right. You can find my personal Tumblr at darkhom.tumblr.com. That's DARKHOM. It is not safe for work. Not sorry. You can also find the side Tumblr I created for my novel in progress, My Roommate's a Stripper, at myroommatesastripper.tumblr.com. Again,
Sounds clearly safe for work, right?
oh, totally safe for work. Not. You can also see some of my stuff on my SoFurry account at darkhome.sofurry.com. Most of that stuff is not safe for work, but there is some safe for work stuff there. You'll need an account to view the not safe for work stuff, though. And my almost never used Twitter account is at Will Granville.
Alright, as for myself, I also have a rarely used Twitter account, silver_wolf85. I keep meaning to kind of revive that to a degree. I have a couple ideas as to how I'm going to go about doing that. It's just I need time to do it. Working
I
65
know it
to
takes so long to type those 140 characters.
Yeah. Can't really complain about my work hours when Justin is on, so I'm just gonna skip that excuse. I'm just
I'm live
easily
from
distracted.
work.
For all of our full coverage writers stuff, you can check us out over on our website at fcwriters.com. For social media, we're over on Tumblr, fcwordninja.tumblr.com. For Facebook, it's facebook.com/fullcoveragewriters. Our literary Twitter handle is at fcwordninja. And for anything and everything else, you can just email us at wordninja@fcwriters.com. And with that, we are going to round out episode 33 of Word Ninjas Live. Tune in next Sunday for episode 34, hopefully with 34% less technical difficulties. We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Until next week, all.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye. To go.
We're live.
We are live. It worked.
Hooray!
Welcome to episode 33 of Word Ninjas Live. We've already dealt with all of the technical difficulties for this weekend, or at least we better have.
We
Fingers
think.
crossed.
We'll see. It cannot be any worse than last week.
Oh,
Last
Lord.
week was just plain silly.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch last week's then.
I've
Yeah.
been afraid to look back at it. Experiencing it was enough.
Yeah, that one was one for the record books for sure.
That one's going to be fun to edit for the audio version. Yay. But yes, for all the viewers and listeners out there, it is Word Ninjas Live coming to you for episode 33. Joining me today is Calvin Williams,
Hello, everyone.
William Granville,
Hello.
and myself, Charles Muir. Ed is off playing with alchemy, and Justin is still stuck in his hellish nightmarescape of doom that he keeps saying is going to wrap up one of these weeks, and then it never does.
It never ends.
Yeah. But hopefully he'll be able to join us again for next week. But in the meantime, we have a full show of talkie points and questions and prompts and all sorts of other shiny baubles for you. So let's get this show on the proverbial road. Talkie point number 1. How much do publishers or imprints affect your interest in an author or series? E.g., do you prefer certain publishers or imprints over others? I really should stop asking these questions considering who is on my cast.
Sorry, not sorry.
Would anyone like to kick this one off, or shall I take the lead?
Well, you seem to be the only one with an actual answer.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I seem to be the only one out of the current crew who actually pays attention to the little logos on the spines of books. Everyone else just cares about the actual authors or the stories within. I'm a bit silly.
Yeah.
Everyone at this point knows my opinion on the Rock imprint from Penguin. It has been made painfully clear in past episodes what my opinion of them happens to be. But yeah, that one tends to be, I'll buy it without question. Doesn't matter who the author is, although I need to be careful because a lot of their authors write series. I need to buy book 1 in a series before I buy book 3 or 4. Because it doesn't work otherwise. And before I came to the Rock imprint, that just sounds silly, there was also Tor and Bayan for their sci-fi books and authors, because those tend to be the best ones I've seen out there that are currently available for science fiction books. There are some older ones like Ace, but they're a little harder to find nowadays. But as I wrote in my notes, whenever there are book sales, I do actively hunt for the books with those logos on the spines because it's just easier. I kind of know what I'm going to get out of the deal. Although I have to look at which book of what series they happen to be in. So that's going to be fun going forward. Because all of these authors write too much. They write like 9-book series, and then I only find book 4 at a book sale. What good does that do? So how about everyone else? What imprints do you like? As I take myself off of the highlight so people don't have to stare at me.
Well, as was said, I don't look too much for the publishers. Perhaps I should. I don't know. I go more for author or story. But I will look more closely at anything by Wizards of the Coast if it's part of the Forgotten Realms series. A lot of authors write for that.
Just volume in that series, and it just never seemed to be available anywhere.
Yeah. And then I found out it was because Tokyo Pop folded up. And I was like, oh, sadness.
And how about Z. Calvin?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know a whole lot about book imprints. I couldn't tell Random House from a Farmhouse. So this really wasn't.
I can mod the question for you.
Okay.
Replace publishers with record labels.
Okay.
Obviously, anything that has been shown on Riff Raff.
Let's see. Record labels. You know, it's funny. I don't really pay attention to record labels a whole lot. I know Incubus is a part of. Last time I remembered, Epic Records. I don't see. Incubus is a part of Epic. Coheed and Cambria, I believe, is still part of Columbia.
Are they still kicking around?
Oh, they sure are.
I'm probably an album or two behind at this point.
Let's see. What's the last album you remember?
Whichever was the very first one that came out after we graduated from college. So probably like 6 years ago at this point.
You're at least a good 3 albums behind.
Oh man.
But yeah, in terms of labels, I don't really follow labels. I honestly don't know like a lot of like which labels a lot of bands I follow are under. Mainly because most of them are part of like either self-imprints or independent labels, and there are quite a few of those floating around. So
Really pretty interesting world. See how different writers take on that. Other than that, I admit I don't know of that many publishers because I just don't look. Probably bad on me. There are some like manga ones I'll look in more. You know, if there's a certain publisher, I may look at them more closely. Dark Horse is one of them. I'll look at their manga pretty intently because they usually have more offbeat or interesting titles, less mainstream.
I didn't know that Dark Horse did manga. I thought they were mostly just graphic novels.
Oh, they do manga. They did Trigun.
Huh. I did not know that.
Oh, yes. They don't do many, but the ones they do are good. I will also look for Kodansha. Back when it existed, I would look for Del Rey, but Kodansha kind of absorbed Del Rey, so now it's just Kodansha.
What about Yen Press for Spice and Wolf?
I would look a little bit at Yen Press.
They do seem to have an interesting mix of stuff, although I haven't really gotten anything from them other than Spice and Wolf.
Yeah, I think Ed's read a couple other Yen Press things. I usually more avoid the bigger ones like Shonen Jump and Sojo Beat. They do have a lot of good titles, but they're more mainstream, and you know exactly what you're getting with the Shonen or Shoujo title.
Yeah, same with Viz.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And once upon a time, I would look for Tokyo Pop, but you can't look for Tokyo Pop anymore.
Well, you can. It's just you won't find much.
Yeah. You won't find anything new, that's for sure.
Hmm.
Tokyo Pop folded.
A long time ago.
Mm.
A couple of years ago. They just up and closed their doors.
That is news to me.
It was very sad because I was in the middle of reading a new series by them called Ratman. They only get up to volume 4, and then they folded. And I was sad because I was really enjoying that series.
Yeah, remember your ongoing quest to find the next.
Yeah, record labels. I don't follow those much at all.
What record label would have the Hot Licks fallen under?
Probably Warp. Either Warp or Merge, because Warp Records and Merge would probably be very receptive to like, some of the weird crap that we hammered out.
Maybe it's for the best that
actually,
we don't really have any recordings of any of those songs anymore.
I do.
Oh dear.
Maybe I'll release him into the wild one day. Actually, not Hot Licks related, but actually remember a label that I actually do kind of follow. It's called Ghostly International. They're they're primarily like electronica, and like electronic based pop and pop label. They have quite a few bands that I like that are under them. School of Seven Bells, Gold Panda, Comtrues. Those are a few that are under Ghostly. And one thing I like about Ghostly is that like every so often they'll release like a really cool sampler of all their like some of the best work from the bands under the label, and most of those samplers are it's a sampler, so it's free, so easy to find, easy to consume, and it helps me find more awesome music to listen to.
Cool.
So Ghostly. Plus, the Ghostly logo is actually pretty cool looking.